What's up, dudes? I'm Vernon Cutie coming to you again. Uh, Comic review. But I'm gonna do something a little differently. I apologize for the lateness, guys, with the holiday, of course, week, and I didn't. I was, holidays plus. Was really busy this week as well. But also for all those who have my bro as their friend on here on YouTube or on Facebook. Drop him a line, wish him a happy belated birthday. He celebrated his 18th birthday uh, this week. All right, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do the books from last week first, and then you're gonna get double the reviews. So whatever episode it says up in the title, there's gonna be two episodes basically. All right, so let's kick it off with last week's once again, and we'll start with DC. So we'll kick it off with Aquaman number 3. This was the third issue. The Cannibals of the Deep. Wow, this was very, very good. I can see why Tori GNR. This was his pick of the week. This was really good. Jeff Johns and Ivan Reyes are doing a superb job on Aquaman, making Arthur, giving him the spotlight and the respect that he truly deserves in this. We get to see Aquaman cut loose in this book so well. Mira shines as well. That's the one thing. And the thing about it is, I wouldn't call her his sidekick at all in this book. Because I've heard one reviewer say that Mira's just his sidekick in this book. Hell no. She is so far from sidekick, it's not even funny. But yes, this was really good. We get to see a little bit more of who these cannibal creatures are. But it was good nonetheless. Alright. Batman, The Dark Knight. This is issue number 3. Snared by the White Rabbit. We are introduced to, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it seems like a new Rogues Gallery villain to Bruce's Rogues Gallery, and she looks like a pretty much a hot Playboy bunny playmate. uh, White Rabbit, as she's called, is very interesting. I mean, she's very elusive, so to speak. I mean, it's not much really to say about it, but it was really interesting to see her. I mean, she's got control over a lot of Bruce's old Rogues Gallery, and in this, we get to see her take control of Clayface. He was in disguise as Joker, and then Bruce saw right through that, and it was just like, but yeah, this was still good. Nonetheless, it was okay, not bad. If you're not reading Dark Knight, no worries. I'm not gonna hate you guys, but other than that, it was okay. Not bad. Flash number 3. Uh, this was good. We see Flash really getting really in tune with his new abilities now, and he's still dealing with the circumstances what happened with his childhood friend, and this thing, these, as well as this, the mob rule as well. But we also see something in the works that I was very happy to see. We get to see the rogues in this book. Yes, we saw Captain Cold, and I was so happy to see Captain Cold in this book. So that gave me yeah, they're gonna bring them back. They're coming soon. So it looks like it's setting up for something. But right now, Barry's still dealing with what's going on now with his childhood friend and everything like that. Okay, Green Lantern, New Guardians, number 3. Tony Bedard and Tyler Kirkham. Uh, what can I say about this book? One, I come to the conclusion that the Guardians are what I've always said, a bunch of blue-faced dicks. Two, what they did to Ganthid is atrocious. Three, the Guardians are dicks. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But other than that, it's there. It's like it's almost like they're still trying to figure out what's Kyle's role in this new 52 universe. Is he or is he not? You know what I'm saying? All right, Superman number 3. If anybody's seen my sensei, my mentor Blue Goblin's review about this, first of all, George Perez, good stuff. But I am agreeing. For the first 3 issues already, we've seen Clark deal with elemental monsters or so, just monsters that just randomly come to Metropolis and they come to fight him, and they bring that up in this book. They show a little bit more of, they tell like the when Superman arrived in Metropolis, all that other stuff, especially if you're reading Action Comics, you'll see what they're talking about. But I definitely have to agree with Gabi on this. I mean, it's not like God knows I want a Superman title and I'm gonna stick with this, but still it seems like this is building up to something, but I think it's still coming off like watered down to the point where monster comes to Metropolis, Superman fights it, yada yada yada, save the day. I understand they're putting a lot of more humanness into him, which is great, but there's got to be some substance and build up to this. And in this issue, we see that there's something that could be connecting these monsters. So that's what keeps me intrigued about this. But other than that, it was okay. All right, and the last book from last week, DC Teen Titans number 3. Introducing Bunker. Bunker is very interesting. The Titans have all been brought together now, but they're still kind of separated. They're not a full team, but all the pieces are on the puzzle now. Bunker, who outside of his costumes looks a lot like Generator Rex. Okay, I'm not lying. I am not kidding. My bro brought that up, and I looked at it again, and I was like, yeah, he does. He's Latin. He's from Mexico, and as you can see, Robin and him are fighting. It really wasn't a big fight, but Bunker wants to join the Titans, and pretty much he was looking for Tim. He's able to kinetically make kinetic fists, or just use kinetic energy to make solid objects and things like that. That's pretty cool. I don't mind. And we get more of Kid Flash and Solidus as well, and Wonder Girl. And it seems like they said, the first villain they're gonna fight is Superboy. So it'll be interesting to see where that leads to. But I really enjoyed this one. This was really fun. Scott Lobdell did a pretty decent job on this. Bunker came off just like this uber Red Robin fan once he realized who he was fighting at first. But it was really good. Alright, so we're going to move on to the Marvel for last week. And we're going to start off with the mini-series of Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight number 6 of 8. Fred Van Lent and Greg Pak. I recently heard that Marvel is not going to do an ongoing series of this. That sucks, Marvel. But other than that, this was it's still the pieces of the puzzle. It's still trying to figure out who's behind the entire country of Canada has turned their back on the premier Canadian team, Alpha Flight. But also, in the meantime, they have to deal with this spiritual godlike being that is after them. And this godlike being is able to, this ancient being is able to summon Wendigo monsters, creatures, and everything. And you got Shaman trying to fight this creature along with Snowbird. While the big brains, Sasquatch and Guardian, try to figure out how to stop this, try to basically cut off this brainwashing of the people of Canada. But lo and behold, we see somebody, another one of their fellow Canadians, actually coming into the country because the whole country's been locked down. Nobody is to go in or out. However, that fellow Canadian is, of course, Wolverine. You see him coming in to Canada. I'm coming home. He's put up his ID. I'm coming home. I guess he's going to, well, they don't say what he's going to do, but 2 more issues in and this limited series will be over. And so far it's been pretty good to me. Alright, and we'll continue with another limited series. This is the 3rd issue out of 4. David Abbott and Andy Landing. The Annihilators Earthfall. Alright. The first 2 issues, I was really trying to understand like what is going on in a way. But now we figured out that this child is actually Magus, the dark side of Adam Warlock. And he's possessed this child. The Avengers and the Annihilators they stop fighting each other, and they're trying to figure out how to exorcise him from this child, and how is he controlling all these people. We see a lot of intervention and a lot of soldier bickering between Captain America and Ronan the Accuser, because at one point they say that it's like, we have to kill this kid, kill the children, everybody like that. And Cap's like, we're not killing kids. And Ronan's like, and you call yourself a soldier. You know, things like that. You see them, they come to blows a lot in this. There's even one time when they finally come up with a contingency plan. Before they leave, Cap pulls Ronan again to the side. It's like, I have a word with you again. You know, I know we haven't seen eye to eye all the time, everything like that, you know, basically. But let me ask you, if this situation happened to the Kree's population, would you do it? And Ronan really said, yes, I've done it plenty of times. And it leaves on a cliffhanger because what Ronan has done, just in case the plan doesn't work. And it's like, do you want this to succeed or not? It's really looking that way. But this one was a little bit more better than the first 2 issues, to me. Very much. Alright, moving on. Oh, kind of heavy. This one's a little bit heavy, guys. 100 pages. Sorry. The world's greatest comic book magazine. They put it back on there. Fantastic Four 600. Congratulations for another comic book creation to reach 600. It is always a joy to see that when any character. Jack Kirby would be very happy to see that. And I know Stan Lee is very happy. Should be pretty happy. Jonathan Hickman does an excellent job in this book. All these new stories was written very well. I really enjoyed this book. I don't want to spoil it, but you know what? Okay. Yes, Johnny's back. And, you know, it's like, what the hell, you know, comic deaths don't stay dead long, right? But it's how he came back. And just like Gabi said, it's more scientifically, and a lot of biology as well. It was really good. You got to see what happened when we saw Johnny with his last stand. Everything about it was really good. Just, and for all those who are worried about the price, $8, it's worth it because Hickman does such a good job on this book. It's really, really worth it. Just to see that. I'm very happy for the FF, the first family of comics to reach 600. Very happy. 1961 when they first came out. Correct me if I'm wrong, guy. I could be wrong about that, but 50 years. Well done. Well done indeed. Alright. Iron Man. Number 510. This is the aftermath of what happened with Tony in after Fear Itself. He's pretty much now melting down. We see him with the dwarf split lip melting down all the weapons that the mighty used, except for Betty, Red She-Hulk's broadsword. She's keeping it, she said. But we also see some plays that's about to happen coming up very, very, very soon. The Mandarin is back. Blizzard is back. Living Laser. Chemistro. And Zeke Stane, Obadiah Stane's son. They're all plotting something against Tony. And the first thing they're going to do is try to get the schematics of the armor. Because remember, during Fear Itself, what happened with Tony? He was drinking again. He drank so he can get Odin's attention to help him. And he's been sober for about 3 days now. And Split Lip, one of the dwarves has come back to Midgard with him, pretty much, to stay. He wants to stay with Tony. So it's kind of interesting. But, yeah. But also, guys, I think everybody needs to know, when Tony is not with the Avengers, he's in Seattle. So all this takes place in Seattle right now. But, yeah. The Mandarin is planning something, and it's planning something big for his old adversary. And Blizzard's new costume looks cool, and looks like it's gonna be trouble for Tony, guys. All right, yeah. Mighty Thor, number 8. The thing we've all been dreading. Introduce the mighty Tannerus. Fraction does this. Now, before you guys go on and say, oh, fuck Fraction, I would have said it too when I was reading this, because it's like, literally now, it's like everybody has forgotten who Thor is. It's like the only person that remembers Thor is Loki. Everybody else, Asgard, they're building a new Asgard. It's not even called Asgard anymore. It's called Asgardia. And it's ruled not by Odin. It's ruled, because Odin's in the Asgard, the space Asgard. And he's locked the door. Nobody's getting in there. It's ruled by all the All-Mothers. Frigga, Gai, and I'm forgetting the other one. I know I'm saying their names wrong. But it's like everybody remembers Tannerus. He's basically been put into all the history that Thor is supposed to have. So him with the Avengers, he's there. However, when I was about to say, man, fuck this shit, I'm stop reading it, they threw us a curveball, which I gotta give Fraction credit for. Tannerus is not who you think he is. And I don't want to spoil who this is, but let's face it, this right here is all an illusion crafted by none other than, I'm going to spoil this for you, Carneal. Now, she's working with, I can't spoil it, I don't want to spoil that. And the other person, the person that is this illusion really is an old enemy of Thor. And or what I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue, guys. His name begins with a U. I'll end it right there. There you go. I was kind of surprised at that. Alright. Secret Avengers number 18, right? Yeah. Oh, excuse me, 19. This is Warren Ellis. Warren Ellis, excuse me, is still writing. And this is the cast is the cast in this is Sharon Carter, Black Widow, Moon Knight, and Steve. They're in a country known as what was it? Canara. It's borders Transylvania, Latveria, Serbia, Romania. It's like this little country, and they're looking for the shadow council is buying this black market drug. It's supposed to be almost like equivalent to the super soldier serum. And so the team goes in to stop them. Very just a typical, secret mission, like a spy mission, which was really good. I love the chemistry between these four characters in there. The artwork was done by this guy. Lark. I'm forgetting his first name. It worked for this, like a espionage book, and I was glad I liked the way they told it. It was really good. Moon Knight was really funny in this, and it was funny to hear, Black Widow kept saying, how can I trust this guy when he thinks he was resurrected from an Egyptian god? That right there, I was laughing, and then I stopped laughing because, once again, Marvel seems to want to retcon his origin, and I don't like that. That they're trying to retcon Moon Knight's origin and saying that he wasn't resurrected back to life, wasn't the avatar to the Egyptian god of vengeance, Khonshu. That's kind of messing with me. But other than that, it was still good. Nonetheless, I think one more issue before the whole lineup is changed, but it was good nonetheless. All right, and we have Ultimate Comics Hawkeye. This is the last issue of the 4-part. Hickman does a really good job. What was happening here, this story takes place all before what's going on now in the Ultimates book. Clint was sent in to stop this group called this group in South Asia from destroying, and with the help of the government sanctioned mutant team called Ultimate X and the Hulk, they're able to go in and try to put an end to this group they just call themselves the Children. And what Clint is also there, he's also to retrieve this serum that one of the cult leaders have, and his name is Zorn. It was good. This was good. Hickman really did a good job on this. I was very impressed. Very impressed indeed. It was fun. It was very interesting. The quote unquote bad guys are not what they appear to be. All in all, it was good. I won't spoil if Hawkeye completed his mission, but I will say this: he never misses. And last but not least, the last book for last week, Wolverine and the X-Men number 2. Aaron's Chris Bacci. Okay, Aaron's, no problem. Baccio, Sir, I'm sorry, but I have a problem with your artwork. I don't like your artwork, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I gotta keep it real. I don't like your artwork. Your artwork is just not. I tolerate it, but I don't like it. But other than that, wow. This was good. If you are not on board Wolverine the X-Men, get on board. My boy, one of my favorite X-Men's, always told people, do not sleep on this guy. There's a reason why he is a mega level mutant. Bobby, Iceman. Bobby Robert Drake does something in this. You talk about step up. He steps up big time in this book. He does something that he didn't know he could do. And I was very impressed at how Aaron's handled that. Am I upset that these little twerps, this little, which is these little kids who are now the new Hellfire Club? I just want to put them over my knee and whip them because they're these little arrogant little pricks are pissing me off. They think they're so smart. But sooner or later, their arrogance is going to bite them in their ass. I'm telling you right there. But that's just me. But other than that, this was really good. Poor, man, the X-Men get no break. They just opened this school, and it's getting destroyed. But, man, Iceman does something so great in this book. I loved it. And that's the reason why I love Bobby so much now. I love him even before this. I've always loved Bobby. And I've always said, don't sleep on him. And we don't. Not at all. Wolverine X-Men, number 2. Aaron's, you're doing a good job, sir. Keep up the good work. Okay, so that is the books for last week. I'll catch you guys on the flip-flop, as always. Stay tuned for this week's books. Other than that, I'm Verdant Kid. Take care.